Hey all, welcome to another RookieCardPrices.com video. Today we're going to take a look at different ways to protect and store your cards. We're going to take a look at all the different ways. We're going to take a look at penny sleeves, card savers, top loaders, boxes, vaults, binders, and books, and pretty much any other way you can store and protect your cards. We will break the video up into different sections so that it's easy for you to find the spot that you want. If there's a specific type of product you're looking for, I'll have all that in the notes of the video. And we will start here in a minute at penny sleeves. All right, let's take a look at the first line of protection when it comes to your cards, and that is the penny sleeve. Penny sleeves are a thin, almost dust cover, clear, that goes over the card, fits the card almost perfectly. It has an opening on one end, as you can see, where the card goes in. They are good for protecting against dust, scratches to the surface. It also can kind of cover the corners and edges to help keep the card safe. Putting the card into the penny sleeve, we're going to have a little help from my friend here, Billy Ripken. It's not really my friend, I don't know him, but this is a 1992 Donruss card of Billy Ripken. It's not a very valuable card, so if we wreck it doing this, I'm not going to be too upset about it. It's kind of a cool picture though, it's jumping on the front. Anyways, what you want to do to put the card in is I usually twist these a little bit. What happens is it kind of opens. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of opens on one corner. You get that corner in without touching the sides at all, and the other corner can kind of slide right in that way. Neither corner ever touched while I was doing that. And then you kind of just slide the card all the way in, and that's it. If you want to ever take these out, you kind of can do it the same way. I kind of pinch the sides a little bit like this, kind of open it. You want to be very, very careful not to harm the edges or the corners when you pull these out. For the most part, once I put a card in there, it really never comes out. I use the penny sleeves in conjunction with other types of holders, like either top loaders or the card savers. Interestingly enough, they call them penny sleeves because they cost about a penny a piece. You can usually get, packs of 100 or more for around $1 per pack, equaling about the penny for the penny sleeve. The next thing we're going to take a look at is the semi-rigid holder. Most collectors know these as card savers. I believe Card Saver is a registered trademark of Cardboard Gold. I believe they're the ones who originally made these or hold the patent to them. There is a bunch of different similar products. I always go for the Card Saver 1s and the Card Saver 2s. You can see it there on the top. These are the preferred or recommended method when you're sending cards to PSA or SGC to be graded. You're going to want to use these, nothing else, not the top loaders. Definitely don't want to send them just in the penny sleeves for sure. I'm going to show you here how to put a card inside of a card saver. First, always put it in a penny sleeve first. That's my recommendation. Some people do it without. I do not recommend doing that. You can scratch the surface or cause damage to the card. So once you have it in the penny sleeve, which we showed you previously in this video, you want to grab the card saver like this. You want to kind of hold it with two hands, and then with one hand, and then put a finger over it so you're kind of propping it open. You want to very gently put the card inside so you don't touch the corners whatsoever, and kind of push the card down in there very, very gently. Once you get it to about this point, you're going to want to grab it and very cautiously push it down in without wrecking the corner. And there we go. What's nice about these is the card really can't fall out. unless it has a lot of pressure, but it really holds it in there nicely. It's not, it still could bend. It is a semi-rigid, but these are nice for stacking. You can stack these, multiple cards, especially if you're sending to PSA, you'll more than one card, you'll stack these, put them in between cardboard, and it makes for a real nice way to send them in. Same thing with pulling the card out. You want to open this up, be very cautious. I kind of grab the penny sleeve instead of the card when I pull these out, and I kind of just slide it right out. That's the card saver is my recommended way of storing. Obviously, shipping your cards, it's the primary way I store most of my ungraded valuable cards. All right, the next method we're going to take a look at, or the next product, is the top loader. If you've been in the hobby for any kind of time, I'm sure you've seen these. These were huge back in the day in the 90s and early 2000s of collecting, and they still are popular today too. The only downfall to these that I have is I feel like the cards can slip out of the top easily, or at least more easily than using a card saver. Let's take a look at how to use these. What I usually do is I do the same thing as I would with the penny sleeve. Sometimes it's a little hard to get your finger in there, but you kind of open it up just like that. Take the card without letting the corners touch. Slide it in very carefully and push it down. Now, once you get it to this far, you can give it a little tap on your hand or on the desk, and it will slide right to the bottom. Don't want to tap it too hard. You want to make sure that you don't ding it, but you can see that it can. Now this one's not. Yeah, there it goes. It kind of slid out with not very much force, so you want to be careful with that, not to let them slide out once they're in there. It is still a nice way to preserve your cards. They are more rigid, a little bit more rigid than the card savers. And they are inexpensive. You can buy them in bulk in quite large quantities as well. Again, remember, don't send your cards in for grading in top loaders. You want to send them in the card saver product. All right, the next product we're going to talk about is the One Touch, which is also, I believe, a registered trademark. A lot of people call them the magnetic connectors. Magnetic cases. What's nice about these is they're nice and rigid. You don't have to worry about the card bending or anything once it's inside. To open these, you simply have a little notch up here at the top, and you can see this gold, sometimes silver magnetic clasp that kind of keeps them shut. You can see I even have trouble. There we go. Getting open, and it kind of has these two notches at the bottom that slide in. What you want to do is first, this is the only product, I guess, that I would say you want to pull the card off of the penny sleeve. Okay, because I don't think the penny sleeve will fit inside of there. So you want to pull the card off. What you want to do is set it very gently down inside. You can see that there are corner protections. I'll show you here in a second when I put this together. But what you do then is you put the two notches down in, like so. Oops, do I have it upside down? I think I do. Put it down in like so, and snap it tight. And now you have the card nicely centered inside of there. You see the corner protection that they have on those. It fits the card perfectly. I should have mentioned before too, with the other holders, they do come in different sizes and thicknesses, same as these, to hold different types of cards. The top loaders, I should say, also come like that, where you can get different thicknesses. You don't want to try to jam a thick card into something like this that's not meant for it, because it will harm your card. Again, don't send these in for grading like this. They are really nice though to display your card, especially an ungraded expensive card. You can display them nicely like that. One downfall to these I've heard, I've never had it happen myself, but people say sometimes if you drop these on the ground, they can crack open and the card can fall out. Again, I've never dropped one of my cards like that, but I have heard people say that that can happen. All right, the next thing we're going to take a look here at is the binder books, the clear sheets, usually 9 card pockets per sheet. What you want to do is you'll have an album like this. This is a standard card set album. Usually you can use the side here to put a label marking what set it is. Inside, this one is a 3-ring binder. They come different ways. Sometimes they have more of like a completely sealed edge to them where they don't have the 3 rings. This is the more standard ones you'd probably see with the 3 rings. What you want to do is you'll buy these sheets usually separately, and they come in different thicknesses, different types of plastic. This one is probably the more flimsier, for lack of better words, but either way they work pretty well. Again, what I do with my cards, if I use these, I'm not a huge binder fan, but I do know a lot of people that do like them, especially for large sets. I put them in a penny sleeve, of course, first. Then you take the card and you can lift up one of the fronts here of the sheet and you slide the card in, and it will slide right down with little effort. And then this way you can see the front and back of the card. I've seen a lot of collectors, especially back in the day when we were kids, would put multiple cards inside the pockets. Don't do that. First of all, the people looking at the cards want to see the front and back, and you can also damage the cards by sticking too many of them up inside the pockets. Some people have said if a card is in the cards along the side of these 3-ring binders can get damaged, as you can see, depending on how I would flip the card. That's one of the reasons I don't recommend using these. It's not my favorite thing. You got to be very careful when flipping the pages over so that the cards don't bend or get harmed. It's also a very kind of a heavy way to carry your cards. You know, if you can imagine if you have a whole set of 700 cards in here, I mean, this is going to be a pretty thick, heavy binder doing it that way. I do, like I said, a lot of collectors swear by them. It's not my favorite thing, but I did want to show you how to use them if you choose to. All right, the next thing we're going to take a look here at is storage boxes. I'm sure if you've been in the hobby for any amount of time, you've seen these before. They're a great way to store large amounts of cards, large sets. Obviously, they come in different sizes. Most popular being the 250 card up to, I believe this is an 800 card box. As you know, most baseball card sets from 80s, 90s era have anywhere between 500 and 800 cards in them, so they fit perfectly inside these boxes. If you have smaller amounts, you can use something like these. These are just like foam pieces that I use. I would need another one here, but you want to keep them somewhat tight in there so that they don't move around. I will tell you that your cards will most inevitably get damaged using these, so I don't use them very often for anything that's with a large expense or a large value. If it's a cheap set, you know, junk wax era set or something, I might use something like this, or just a large box of commons. I could use something like this, but I would not suggest using this for anything of value. If you have a set that does have valuable cards in it, you could always put them into a top loader or penny sleeve. I believe the penny sleeves do fit in there. Some people I've seen put them on top. I don't recommend doing that. They could move around and fall out, but you do see that that does work. What you do with these boxes, usually they come flat. You put them together and they have the two flaps here on the sides. You just fold them down, put the flaps in, and it's a great way to store large amounts of cards. You can stack these boxes a few high. When you go too high, you could crush the ones on the bottom, but yeah, it works good for large amounts of inexpensive cards. All right, next we're going to talk a little bit about grading. Obviously, grading your cards is the best way to preserve high value cards. It's been known that cards that are graded obviously sell for more usually than ungraded cards. Obviously, when you send them to places like PSA, you'll get it sonic welded inside a case like this, which is a really nice hard case, very clear and nice looking for the card. This is an example card from my personal collection. It's an old Roger Hornsby card from 1933 Gaudi. What's nice about this is they have all different, so whatever size, you can see this card is a lot smaller than the standard size card of today. They have holders that fit the exact cards, whatever size that is. Of course, you get your serial number. It tells you what the card is across the top, and the card cannot come out of here. I mean, people do crack them open sometimes, which I do not recommend at all. First of all, you're messing up the population report, and also you very highly risk damaging a card taking it out of there. So you should always leave those inside. When you send your cards out for grading, we've talked earlier in this video about this, but you want to put the card into a penny sleeve and then into the card saver, just like so. If you do multiple cards, obviously you're going to stack the card savers in order that the grading company tells you to, and you'll put cardboard around the outside using something like painter's tape to tape the sides of the cardboard, leaving the cards in the middle and then putting them into a box or bubble wrap to keep them extra protected. Grading obviously comes with a cost. You got to pay to have the cards shipped to the grader. You have to pay the grading fees, which we all know are always going up in price. And then of course you got to pay to have the card shipped back to you. So it is an expense. So it's usually your higher grade, higher level cards you want to send out, you know, that hold a lot of value, of course, over the grading amount. But grading is probably the best way to store high-grade cards, in my opinion. All right, let's talk about bags. Team bags. They sell these products online that you can put a stack of cards, you know, who knows, a team-sized stack of cards. I just grabbed this at random, but you can put those inside the bag. You can fold the bag over. It keeps it nice and tight. It's not something I prefer to use, but a lot of people do like them for small amounts of cards to keep them safe. It comes with these, usually this lined glue on top, where you pull this off and you'll seal the cards inside by bringing this down against the plastic, and it would seal the cards inside. I also use a similar product. I think they're a little bit different size, but I use it for my graded cards because I don't want these cases to be harmed or scratched at all with my graded cards. So I always keep them inside of a similar product, seal the back, so that it's inside a nice sealed bag as well. Again, these come in different sizes depending on what you want to do with them, but they're a good way to store your team sets and small amounts of cards. All right, last but not least, we're going to talk about boxes, large boxes and vaults. This is one from my personal collection. I love this thing. It's good for traveling. It's got the handle on it. If you wanted to travel with expensive cards, you could. It has the locks and snaps on it that lock it with the keys. It's not the best safe lock, but it does the trick. Inside, what I love about this thing is it is all padded, and it comes with all these different pads. There's a bunch of different manufacturers of these, but it works really well to customize. These are the same foam blocks that I was using for the other cardboard boxes, but it's great for storing graded cards and sets, but you can actually put raw cards in here too, and it keeps them nice and safe, nice and padded, tight. This one is not fireproof, but I know that they even sell some that are heat proof like that as well. They come in different materials. This one's like a metal and plastic material. I've seen them all metal before. But yeah, it's a really nice piece to have for your high-end graded sets and high-end graded cards. On our website, rookiecardprices.com, we will have some different links to manufacturers that sell these, as well as the other products that we've been showing in this video as well.